Hello again, outlaws. Let me lift my helmet here for a minute. Okay, so this is the day after I see, I'm still kind of jacked up. This is the day after I did the Pell training with the giant sword, my good old dragon slayer. That was rough. During and after was pretty rough. Yeah, it was, yeah. Anyways, so as you can see here, I've got my beautiful hound skull bassinet on, but also there's some new additional holes I have added, and then some preparatory holes that I'm working on right now to increase overall vision and, importantly, ventilation. Now, when I got it, it did breathe pretty decent, pretty good. I've owned different helmets before. I did armor fighting before, primarily SEA, and then some very brief steel fighting I did with some guys like over a decade ago that don't remember. Like I said, it's very brief. Anyways, so today is going to try out the helmet. I haven't been able to train it lately. Buhurt's been a mixed bag. My 2-week sickness came at a terrible time. supposed to be doing an event, and unfortunately that didn't happen because of the sickness. And then, yeah. There's one thing about my giant sword training that I've been frustrated with is when I get injured or if I get sick, or most often is work, because I don't do it anymore, but I had a career path which currently involved, anyways, I did a career path where I was pretty much just on call 24/7, and I had to deal with all sorts of ridiculous stuff. Like I would train people properly, do things correctly, but just the nature of the beast, it was awful. Pretty much abusive. But anyways, so I got rid of all that, and that affected my ability to train. But my point is, I want to keep training on a regular basis. So today is kind of like a rest day, if you can believe that. So I have my Buhurt leg armor on, as you can see, the full thing, including the tassets, skirt fold, whatever you want to call it. But I will be training with my two-handed French Falchion and my executioner sword. Thankfully, my Pell is still standing. Like I said, I just kind of picked up from wood that a bunch of individuals brought up here. And I'm seeing some wood that I can still use, so I just need to go get some more screws and whatnot. I have to be careful though, because too many screws, too many little parts can chip up and beat up the Buhurt swords. That's not something I want to do. I really want to get a bunch of tires and stack them up, but I don't really want to bring a bunch of tires up here because that'd be kind of ridiculous. So whatever, we'll figure it out. I never go full speed with this just because I don't want to, again, damage my stuff, and I want to keep an eye on what I'm doing. And the point is to build up skills, repetition, patterns, and then just get familiarized with the weapon system itself and get comfortable with it. That's the main focus. Okay, enough blabbering, let's get to work. Okay, so I got to about 40 reps on the right hand dominant. Still going on all sides just to train. Not the highest I've ever done, but again, you know, still recovering. Had the giant sword training yesterday, so that's definitely affecting. Not pretty close to the same muscles. Not so much the back muscles. But definitely like the arms, the forearms a little bit. More so the forearms. I think 40 is good. So what we're going to do now is switch over to the left side. Just keep going. And the whole purpose of this is I could be out here for like an hour, going. But I want to go to the set limit where I really start feeling fatigued and I start feeling like my work or my output is not as effective as it was, and then slowly build out from there. Preferably getting to the point where I could be like, I don't know, 200 plus reps, maybe even 1,000 reps, to the point where I'm feeling tired. Breathability in the helmet right now is fantastic. There's not a lot of wind, but the additional holes I put into the helmet have just drastically increased its efficiency. I mean, not only do I have protection, but I can see before where I used to have a lot of blind spots. The breathing is so much easier. It's like a different night and day. Okay, now we're gonna go left-hand dominant with the executioner sword before we move to the French Falchion. Okay, so that's the left side. The good news is I've not had to take a break and take my helmet off, like open up the visor and breathe like I normally have to. And that's kind of the point of this, is to train myself and build my cardio and test my cardio to the point where I don't have to do that. It's also the point of expanding the holes in the helmet. Now, you want to be careful that I don't put too large of holes, or that the gap between holes is too small. That's still a concern, but I'm definitely not there yet. And again, the glancing, like the angle of the helmet, really makes it difficult for people to land a good solid shot from the front in the areas that the holes would be exposed to an extent that would break through the helmet and, you know, cause harm to me or put me at risk. I'd say the worst part is right here where the square holes are at. The next blade just happens to hit right there. That could possibly break through. But I think just the way they're reinforced shaped, kind of like fluting almost, and you can hopefully see it right here. Obviously, its biggest concern. Okay, so I'm gonna do one more set with the executioner. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do 20 on the right and then flop over 20 on the left immediately afterwards. Okay. What? Okay, so a little bit about each weapon. So the executioner sword is great for really delivering impact shots, and I think that's why I do really well with it and why I like it the most, because it handles more. It's like a regular size sword was going to handle like a giant sword. That would be the executioner. It's really top heavy and it just really lands at impact. Now, people would think because French Falchion has this spot right here that it would do the same, but not really. It's French Falchion is really very well balanced. The executioner, very top heavy, delivers powerful blows, which is great with Buhurt, because since armor is so good and people like, most people put like really, put a lot of padding underneath, they put additional padding underneath, that it's really hard to make, it's almost impossible to do pain outs. Usually when people get pain outs, it's like if they hit someone really good and square right in the spine area, or they get a good shot like underneath here where the rib cage is at and they break the ribs, which also is why I wear gambesons. A lot of you hear people, they're trying to get away from gambesons. Like they'll just wear, like, I see some people wear sweatshirts, or they'll wear, like, I think someone was wearing a gi. They'll wear all sorts of stuff. Some guys they wear like modern protective armor, like motocross armor, which honestly is a good idea. Unfortunately, when I took the measurements for my armor, I didn't do that. So I had to stick with a fairly light, but it's still a fairly thick canvasing. And honestly, man, it's like either you're gonna be hot, or you can have high risk of having broken collarbones, broken ribs, broken spine, really badly damaged like skin, organs. Like I've seen people take straight hits to like the back of the leg, all that stuff. So anyways, that's why it's important for have a sword, like an executioner sword that can deliver an impact. French Falchion is very balanced, but its blade is also a little bit thicker than the executioner. So this one is good for countering swords, and also it's just like you feel like you're going to really get entangled with a lot of people and do like a lot of like close fighting combat, and those take more of an abuse. It's a little bit easier to swing, but it definitely doesn't deliver as much of an impact. Now, that's not saying the executioner sword is not as good at close quarters. I mean, it's good as the Buhurt international rules will let them to, because you can't half sword, you can't grab your blade. Your opponent also can't grab your blade. But it's not bad. I do prefer, like I said, I do prefer the executioner over this. I just wish the executioner blade was a little bit thicker to deliver more of an impact, but you know, challenge. All right, let's stop. So you can see it's faster. I also wanted to show off how much faster it is. I think I might be hitting a screw or something. Yeah, maybe not. Okay, so it's a little bit faster. So we did, I don't know what I did. I think I did 40. I did 30. Anyways, left side. Let's start over. But that was 30 each side. Not bad. Again, it's still, I think it's about 5 pounds, but it's very balanced. So it's easier to, like, you want to use just one hand real quick to smack somebody, you could do that. May not be as effective as a one-handed weapon getting smacked, but it is what it is. So we did 30 each side. Now we're gonna do split down the middle. We're gonna do 20-20. Do this. So you can see my face, a little bit of condensation side of the helmet too. Not bad. It's actually fantastic. Again, I don't feel anywhere near as bad as it did yesterday. It was also a lot warmer yesterday, but still feeling it a little bit. Got some good cardio work in, some muscular endurance in, and some practice too, because I haven't swung any swords in such a way against a Pell quite a while. And unfortunately, this Pell does need some work, but thankfully there's a lot of random wood. I know this is mostly rotted, but you know, get some screws, wrap it up, maybe find more tires. I'll probably clean up a little more around here though, because like I said, it's just a lot of junk here that I don't much care for. Okay, that was awesome. Thanks for stopping by. Keep training. Like I said, always aim high. We'll see you next time.